Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 101. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside my Spanish meatball, Joseph. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm surviving.
Yeah, that wasn't convincing to anybody.
You're right. I'm doing really fucking amazing. Star Wars trailer came out last night.
What do you think of it? Do you like it?
You know what? I wouldn't bring out my Darth Maul / Donald Duck mug if it was not amazing.
Okay, so that means it's got its seal of approval, yeah, because of that.
Yeah, it's my favorite mug of all time.
Okay, I can't argue.
Why would Donald Duck be Darth Maul? I don't know why, but it just now makes sense.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's get the rigmarole out of the way, which is, how does this show even go? Who remembers? You can get the show early if you head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. All those $3 video is for. You can subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/myxboxandme, which is the first week of us promoting that, which isn't off the live show. Thank you again to everybody who listened and was there for the live show. Episode 100 was a success. The channel so far has gone really well. We announced in the Facebook group that we're now having new content creator part of the channel called Gary, which is awesome. He's already got 2 reviews up on the YouTube channel, one for Cuphead and one for Ruiner, which Ruiner just went up today. So that is,
as long as Gary knows his place, I'm all right with this.
You can say what you want. Yeah. He's doing great. It's lovely to have a team of us getting some bits done. There was meant to be a couple of Let's Plays go up. We recorded a couple. None of them have been good, honestly. So I couldn't even save them in editing. So we need to work on that. But more to come on the YouTube channel, I promise. Back to this show. This show is brought to you by Mike Lynch, and you'll hear more from him a bit later. Joe.
Yes.
Let's start with what's in your box. So what have you been playing this week, sir?
I've been playing this little game it's from the small indie movie called Star Wars Battlefront 2.
I've heard of it.
And I gotta say, in the beginning, first off, it launched on my birthday, so it was a good birthday present. But in the beginning, I was not liking this game.
The beta.
Yeah, the beta, but still.
Saying it launched on my birthday means the game's out.
Well, they knew. They said the People's Champ. It's his birthday. The game's not ready yet, but let's just give him a little something. So, like, I appreciate that, Dice. I see that you read the tea leaves. You're like, People's Champ gets what he wants. But nonetheless, I didn't like it in the beginning. Thought the controls were weird. Everything was weird. It was kind of not what I was expecting from the game. And I don't know at the end of the day what I was expecting. But I was like, I don't like this map. I don't like this game mode. I don't like how the weapons shoot. Anything. And at hour 2 of this game, and now I'm just playing at this point just to see all the pretty colors and see Takodana, Maz Kanata's castle map. It struck me. I was starting to have fun. I think the first thing people should do when they enter the beta is play the game mode Strike. And that's where the game actually starts making sense. If you just go into Galactic Assault, it's a lot to digest. So I actually did real well in the strikes, and then I got my confidence up, and I've been playing nothing but Galactic Assault. I think I put in like 10 hours on both consoles just to see which one ran better. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I played it with you, Foxes, Angel Boy, Moody. That was it, right? That was the squad. Yeah, we played a couple of games. I enjoyed it enough. Don't get me wrong, as we all know, I'm not a huge Star Wars buff unless it's about Jar Jar Binks. When the Jar Jar Binks solo game comes, I'll love it. All jokes aside, but it was Star Wars. I enjoyed playing with you guys. You guys were getting excited about things and talking how pretty it was, and that was cool. But for me, it was just like, all right, it's a shooter. I'm playing a shooter in the Star Wars universe. Cool. Sorry. There's nothing really. It was just like, oh, it was cool. I got some kills. Darth Maul was around. It weren't Darth Maul. Yeah, it was. Darth Maul was jumping around, killing us and chasing us, and I'm screaming and shouting. I had fun. Yeah. But I would have had fun with any shooter at that point because I was playing with my friends, not because of the game that it was. so I haven't really got too much of an opinion on.
How dare you?
I apologize.
You know what? I'm insulted. But what have you been playing?
I've been playing some more of the FIFA 18, the Journey mode.
Oh, great! You're just kicking a ball around.
So it's actually the story mode, as most people know. I haven't finished it yet. I'm playing it with Haley, so I have to wait for her to be around. They did an interesting thing where they've actually introduced new characters to the Journey mode, which I guess, spoilers if you want to turn off here and come back in maybe like a minute or so. So you get to play as Alex Hunter's sister in a one-off game so far. You play her first international match when she comes off the bench. That was interesting. And then you get to play as your friend whose career is sort of going down the drain. And then you save his career by playing that as well. Which, I don't know how I feel about it, honestly, because Madden did such a great job of doing the long shot story, which is, this is your story. You have a friend, but you're not playing as your friend. You can influence his game by throwing him the ball, obviously, but it's not his story. It's yours, and he's just a part of that. Where what they've done with the Journey this year is they've really introduced new characters, and I'm like, all right, I don't really care for these people that much, honestly. Danny's not in it enough for me to actually care about his career. And they come up a part where it's like, save Danny's career or don't bother, sort of thing. And then I was like, Joe, well, I'll do it just because it's more gameplay, it's more story. It's probably going to be an achievement to it. But I actually didn't care. I didn't want to save his career because I don't actually care for the character. Same come for his sister. I didn't have a choice in that match. And that girl, I really couldn't give two shits about her. Like, I would not have played her match if there was an option. But there was no option. I had to play it. So, yeah. Interesting.
I watched football for the first time in like 2 years, waiting for the Star Wars commercial thing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
trailer. And I don't know how you find that sport any exciting. There's a commercial every 2 seconds.
I don't watch American football, but
someone did get like knocked the fuck out. Like it was like nighty night, and I was like, oh, this is why. When you see people get like concussion live, this is why you watch it.
Exactly. Right. And what else have I been playing? I haven't touched Cuphead anymore. I haven't even touched it, which is a shame.
You scared?
I'm not scared. I think it's come right at the wrong time for me, Cuphead, where I've got so much other stuff to be playing, and I'm still deep in PUBG. I've now got Haley playing PUBG on PC as well, so I'm teaching her. So that's that.
What a mistake.
And before we go any further, let's do a topic of the show.
Okay.
The topic of the show this week is, I thought Joe would have played it by now, but he hasn't, and I understand that. But it is Shadow of War impressions. Shadow of War did only just drop literally today, and Joe's probably only just woken up, so I totally understand. Joe's like, yeah. So I played.
This is accurate.
I played Shadow of War for about 4 hours so far.
Okay. How are you enjoying it thus far?
My biggest compliment to Shadow of War is that it's more Shadow of War. It's more Shadow of Mordor, more Shadow of War. It's more that universe, is what I'm trying to say. For me, it's a case of, I love the mechanics of that game, which is, it's slightly ripped off Assassin's Creed. It's slightly ripped off Batman's fighting mechanics. It has lots going on during it. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting one for me, because I don't really care about Lord of the Rings. Are you a Lord of the Rings guy?
No.
Yeah, so
I respect it. I respect it.
Me too. I've seen them. Don't get me wrong. I've seen them all. I haven't seen The Hobbit. I didn't care about that. But I'm not into the Lord of the Rings lore like that. So the world itself does not a lot for me, again, similar to Star Wars. But what this game does have going for it so far is its humor. The orcs are funny. The orcs are witty. The orcs are rude. They are the funnest part of this game so far. The gameplay is still solid. If you know what the Batman and Shadow of Mordor gameplay is like, you know what this is like.
It's just building upon that. I'm guessing.
Exactly. And again, the Nemesis system in this game is ridiculous, dude. Like, the Nemesis system is so much fun. Again, I agree with what people say when they say, why have not so many games just nicked this system? And because I literally, the one example I'll give you here is, so I'm fighting one of the orc captains that I've got the intel on him, found out his weaknesses, found out that his weakness is fire. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to get him near fire, I'm going to throw him in the fire, or whatever the case may be. What happens is, in the end of it, is that I throw him in the fire, kill him. He then turns back up out of nowhere. I'm just running along, and he's like, oh yeah, whatever your name is. And I'm like, hold up, didn't I just kill you and throw you in fire? I look at him, all the left-hand side of his body's all burnt.
Oh, shit.
And he comes back as, so it's not whatever his name was then, it's now Noah Graft, the Fire Eater, or something like that. Which, you're like, what the hell? You were just, your weakness was fire, now I killed you with fire. It comes up, whatever his name is, has cheated death. And it's just like, yo, this is cool. This is a really cool mechanic, and it gives the world more life. Which, again, for me, for someone who's not into the world itself, but I'm in it. It gives me a reason to be, because I'm killing these people, or these characters, these NPCs, but they're not just boring, bland NPCs. Right, they've got character, and they create the story. Which is awesome for me. That's why I'm playing this game so far. Like I say, 4 hours in, I'm still in the first region because I decided I was going to just rush through it. I was like, there's so much to play, I'm going to get through the story. I was like, Joe, what? No. I do this all the time. So what I decided was I'm going to do it region by region and then go through and get all the collectibles that are in the region, do all the side quests that are in the region, and do the story missions that are in the region before moving on. Which is what I've done. So I've now cleared out my first region. At first, I was dying a lot because I wasn't thinking about it. Again, there are different ways to play this game. You can play it stealth. You don't have to play it stealth. You can play it this way. You don't have to play it this way. It's just a very, very interesting game. I would definitely, from what I've played so far and my early impressions, I would definitely suggest to people to go out and get it. But there is so much coming out this month, Joe. Do you know what I mean? Assassin's Creed, you've got Forza 7's just dropped. You've got South Park, Evil Within, Wolfenstein, Mario. And that's not on this platform, but there is just so much coming out that I'm like, damn. But if you are interested, I would say it's worth. So from what I've played so far, and I don't see it getting too different from what I played so far, apart from more story, tons of cutscenes, which I'm super happy about. It's definitely a single player game, which I'm super happy about as well. So
cool.
Loot boxes, I guess I'll touch on that just slightly. There are loot boxes in the game. You can buy loot boxes with in-game currency, which cool, no problem. There is gold that you can buy. It's there, but it's not in the way. That's what I will say. It's there, but it doesn't. It's not forced upon you.
Has the game introduced that to you though?
No. All that happened was it's in a pause menu. So in the pause menu, it has. I think it says loot boxes. I think it says loot boxes or something along that. Yeah. And you click that, and it just explains. Oh, if you can get random loot boxes if using in-game currency or blah 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 being the gold. I checked it. Cool. They have characters. They have all this different stuff in it. No, it hasn't once come across in my face. Hey, you need to buy these loot boxes. No, there's plenty of. The one thing I did, there was this interesting thing that happened. Yeah. Which was I was just slagging off the game for its currency system. So what it is certain characters will have like a silver star above them, and if you kill that character, it will drop currency. Okay. So you're like, all right, cool. I'm not just going to run past those ones. I'm going to kill them because I need the currency to upgrade my skills, upgrade my weapons, all this stuff. Right. So what happened was I was killing these people and there was tons of money lying around. And then I got chased off by a couple of captains who were after me. So these two captains were after me. They chased me down. And I was like, shit, I've got to leave the money. I can't, because you can't just run over the money. You don't just run over it and then you absorb it or something. You actually have to push RB and you sort of you get it and absorbs it in with your axe. Which at the time I was like, that's stupid. I don't like that. They're being schemy by not giving me my coins then and there, and they're doing this so I do try and buy loot boxes, yada yada yada. I went right off on one, and then I went back to that same area about half an hour, 40 minutes later, and my money was just sitting there.
Oh, that's cool.
So it wasn't. It was one of those moments where I'm like, that was schemy. I don't like that. And it was actually, it wasn't. It's just me reading too much into it because of this whole loot box situation.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm totally like automatically judging games before I even start. It's like, that's schemy, you're being schemy. And it's like, no, they're not. And it isn't. And don't really have that big a problem with it, if I'm being honest with you. Like,
Right.
I know how much you hate it.
Yeah.
But play this game before doing the internet mob mentality thing, and then tell me it's in the way.
It's for me, because I've heard the other end of it. So like first off, right now the one thing that does scare me is right now Battlefront's microtransactions. Those seem to literally affect gameplay.
Yes,
people are like, whoa, what are you doing? No, like you're literally like. Some of these cards that you're able to get give you crazy abilities. Like you're able to absorb bullets. You're able to lasers. Like you're able to give yourself more health and your whole team around you X amount of times. Like you can have like one of the bonuses if this card drops for you is like you have essentially the health of 2 guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not fair at all. This is multiplayer. This is supposed to be leveled. You're supposed to earn that shit. When it comes to Shadow of Mordor, I hate to say that like I was rooting for this game to fail. I'm happy that for the most part, a lot of people are enjoying this game. I think that's whatever. Until I would like to hear what you say.
Another 4 hours away. Yeah. What I'm thinking
because
we might
from what I hear, from what I understand, at the 20-hour mark, something happens where you think it's the end of the game, but they're just like, gotcha, bitch. Here's a grind fest for you. And so some people are taking that with, well, it's just poor pacing. Some of that is like taking it with, well, they're purposely doing that to incentivize you to get loot crates. But I want to know what you think. Because again, I don't know if I should pick this game up for 2 reasons. A, don't want to support microtransactions. I want WB to be right. And secondly, I'm horrible at these type of games.
Okay, so really bad. Number one, I'll start with, by you buying the game and not supporting microtransactions, you're supporting the game. How by buying the game are you supporting microtransactions?
Well, I'm saying that so by essentially buying the game, I'm telling them, hey, I'm supporting this product 100% because I bought it.
I totally disagree. I totally disagree with you on this because I bought the game, or I say I bought it. My game share. I bought the game because we share games and whatever, and I don't take it as that. I take it as I'm buying the game. If you buy a single microtransaction in this game, I think that means you're supporting microtransactions, not the game itself.
Well, no, I'm telling the company, hey, I would like your game, but this part of the game is tempting me away from it, right?
But then what I'll say is from my early impressions, because that's all I can go off of, is you're just hindering yourself then, because they're not shoving this on you right now.
Let me hinder myself.
No, I know 100%, but I'm just saying. But it's like, why? It's a hard one because every game's got this nowadays. Like, and I'm not saying that makes it right, because it doesn't. That does not make it right. Games shouldn't have. I feel like loot boxes and paid loot boxes should be in free-to-play games.
Right.
At this point, if you're buying a free-to-play game, you know that they need to make some sort of money off of a free-to-play game. And how do you support a free-to-play game? With loot boxes or skins or character cosmetics, stuff like that. So do you feel like you supported Destiny's microtransactions because you bought Destiny twice?
I didn't know about the microtransaction. Well, I knew.
Yeah, we spoke about them before the game came out.
Well, I knew of their microtransactions before. I didn't know of the shaders.
Okay, so
be thrown in there. I knew of them, and like I was a player. I was a Destiny player before and after they introduced microtransactions, and I was okay with those because I was like, oh, they're just emotes. Oh, they're just like vehicle. Like, oh, the spaceship I get to see every time I load in. fine, whatever. I don't care. That's not for me. If someone wants a Carlton dance, they could buy a Carlton dance. Doesn't affect me whatsoever. But
So,
if I did learn that shaders were going to be something held back, yes, I would not have bought it for the Xbox and PlayStation 4.
so my
Because to
argument
me,
is you're saying that Destiny's emotes and the ships and the character looking different, that doesn't affect you.
right.
So what affects you in Shadow of War, in a single player game? How does that affect you? All you have to do is ignore it.
Okay, so perfect example. I did a video on microtransactions, right? And I said, you know, when people go, it's just a single player game, Joe, you can ignore it. It's fine. Just look the other way. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it.
There's a difference between ignoring and look the other way and just ignoring something, though.
Well, I mean, looking the other way is ignoring something. You could look at it and you could like,
no, because you can ignore some. I'm ignoring the microtransactions.
None of the case. We saw this before with Dead Space 3, right? Dead Space series I love to death. It is my Resident Evil. I'll talk about it to the day I die. And number one, sold good. It had a cult following. Number two, sold good. It was a cult following yet again. Number three, though, EA wanted it to sell gangbusters. They wanted this thing to sell big bucks, and not just day one, not just day 2, day 3, day 30, but day 365. They wanted this thing to sell all year round. So they implemented a weapon system, an upgradable weapon system in the game. And then you can buy parts with in-game currency. This is all from memory. You can buy parts of in-game currency and upgrade your weapons, or you can ignore it. Don't worry about it. You could ignore it. You're a father of two, whatever the case may be. You could get it yourself in game. So you're like, okay, sounds good. Joseph is a young lad. He doesn't know any better. Buys Dead Space 3 because hell, 1 and 2 were so great. There's a part in Dead Space 3 though, where you're immediately shafted. There's sometimes when they're talking about skipping the grind, what they're really telling you is skipping the paywall, where there are parts of this game that halt your progress to a slowing start, right? Like good example is in those free-to-play games, there's sometimes where you have to build something. It takes a day to build that whole entire thing. Well, this grind isn't nearly as bad as a 24-hour, but you're looking at a 2-3 hour part of the game where I have to now go back and grind because the game won't allow me, because the game wants me to go out there and spend that $5 to proceed. They're not telling me outright, go buy a loot box, but it's making you go, oh man, I can kill all these necromorphs for 2 or 3 hours, or I could just go spend $5 on weapon parts. So what did I do when I fell into that? I sold the game because I felt cheated because they promised me something that wasn't there.
What did they promise you?
They promised me it wouldn't affect the game. And it did. I was at a part where I couldn't proceed and I felt like the need to having to buy this loot box. And that's what a lot of other people thought of and felt. And so what happened to Dead Space 3? Well, because it didn't sell as well, microtransactions wise, and because this one was panned critically, you don't see Dead Space 3 anymore. Or you're not going to see a Dead Space 4. Dead Space 4 is done because I didn't support microtransactions, because I didn't support the game.
But you did support the game because you bought the game day one.
I returned it. Well, yeah. Oh, not returned it. I sold it.
You sold it. You bought the game day one. You did support the game.
Yes.
So that argument is gone.
Yeah, but when like the critics, when the critics pan it, when you're not able to hit your target goal of selling a whole shit ton of microtransactions and people fall off, they see that shit.
Of course.
You know, yeah. So when they see a number of the audience just drop out, they're like, whatever, didn't have much faith in the game anyway. So, on to the next game.
Let's come away from Dead Space and go back to Shadow of War, which from my 4 hours experience and what I'm seeing, all it's going to be is you have to grind out characters and kill enemies,
right?
Which is the whole point of the game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So all you're going to be doing is what the game needs you to do anyway.
Right.
So I understand the argument of, but the game's making you grind. but I want to play the game and kill things. That's the whole point of the game. The whole point of the game is, for me anyway, is to get a cool story, which I'm getting, not one that I necessarily love or care about so much, but a cool story nonetheless, and to go kill orcs.
So what I say to that is like I played World of Warcraft for God knows how many years, right? And when they implemented character, there was a thing where it was like automatic level, I guess because the newest one, I think it was like automatic level 70 or level 80 character. A lot of people turned at that and go, well, why?
Because that's an MMO. This is a single player game. That's an MMO.
But no, but I'm saying like a lot of people turned around and said, but the whole point of this game is to grind and to get stuff, right? But what happened was like I guess that's not the best example. But a lot of people like looked at that and just went, well, that's what the game is about. And a lot of people, including myself, don't partake in it. It's about that 1%, that 2%, that 3%, that 4% that does, and that encourages companies to take bits and pieces, more bits and pieces out of their game to sell you for later.
Okay.
Like one of these forums I'm on, I think it was like Kind of Funny or something, whatever. This guy had an email or text message conversation with his mother that her son took her credit card, spent $200 in FIFA points.
Yeah, so that's bad parenting. Don't let your son get a credit card.
No, it's not bad parenting.
It is.
Because the thing is, like, that shit happens. You know, like,
but don't let your son get your credit card.
Well, okay. If you think you trust your son and you think you trust your kids, that's not a bad thing of poor parenting. What you're doing is you're incentivizing kids at a young age, because there was a study done, 1/3 of people who buy microtransactions are teenagers. You're introducing them to gambling. You're introducing them to gambling light. And that, to me, is where it gets wrong. To me, look, dude, I did that when I was a kid. I tomfooleried my parents that didn't know any better to get me like WoW time or whatever the fuck I needed. Kids are smart. Kids aren't dumb. Parents have other things to worry about than World of Warcraft or Xbox Live time.
So, okay, so what you're saying to me is,
yeah,
that it's EA's fault that Jerry spends £200 of his mum's credit card on FIFA points. That's EA's fault.
Yes.
How? Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with you on the case of grinding FIFA coins is fucking shit. I hate grinding FIFA coins, but that's the game.
Well, there you go. You just said it.
No.
Because grinding FIFA coins is shit.
But that's the game. The whole point of Ultimate Team is you grind coins and play matches in the game. You play the game.
Right.
To earn the coins to buy the packs. If you want to spend your hard-earned money and buy FIFA points, you can do that in open packs. But you're not playing the game, you're buying points. The whole point of a game is to play it, not to buy points for it.
So I don't know FIFA at all.
But that's the argument you brought up, which is Tommy stole £200 from his mum's credit card. His mum should hide her credit card and not let Tommy get hold of her credit card. Fact.
Right. Look, when we start blaming the individual for whatever the case may be, Tommy might have been like the grade A student. He might be a piece of shit. It might be all her mom's fault. But when we treat it, when it's down to, well, you know what, that parent should have known better. No, dude, my parents are fucking awesome. I think I'm a good kid. I fucking done that shit before.
Yeah, but that's you being a bad person.
Because that's me being a little piece of shit kid. That's what pieces of little shit kids do. But what I'm saying is, in the first place, those things shouldn't have been there in the first place.
I disagree.
EA should not have had those things in there in the first place, because they plead poverty. All of them do. They plead poverty. Look how much it costs to build servers, this, that, the other thing. And what do? They build sponsorships with all these various companies. You have to see the KFC chicken guy now is a playable character in the WWE, which is sad and pathetic. You know, you see things like Shadow of War with like Mountain Dew ads, with like all these stupid like Frito-Lay ads. You don't think they're getting money for that? No, they're getting a shit ton of money for that.
No one doesn't think that.
FIFA as well. Look, there when you're watching a soccer game, do you not see those PlayStation adverts for FIFA? Yeah. That's not EA's not paying for that shit.
But I don't understand your argument. What's your argument here?
My argument is that when you're locking away content,
but they're not locking away content.
That should be in the game, whether it's like Battlefront for me, like anything that's affecting gameplay is wrong. And for the introducing a gambling light system in place for kids to take advantage of is wrong. Because what you're incentivizing kids to do is you're triggering that part of their brain, that addiction part of their brain, that gambling does, where you need that other hit. You need that thing.
But you're not a kid.
Right, but you get addicted to things.
But I'm talking to you. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying to you, right, as an adult who earns money and goes to university or whatever it is.
Right.
I'm talking to you specifically, because we can have the argument about like morals of should kids. That's a whole different argument. My argument is you're not going to buy Shadow of War, a game that you may have picked up, maybe that's what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. This is Shadow of War because it has microtransactions in it. Of you can buy loot boxes, which you could totally ignore. I have more problems with this shit in multiplayer games. I have problems with this shit, period, yeah? But if I can ignore it, then I haven't got a problem. Like you said, when 20 hours comes, when 20 hours in comes, next week when I see it, and they add 5 hours worth of grinding in, maybe I'll have a different opinion.
That's my whole thing is...
But you haven't witnessed that firsthand, and nor have I. So we're talking out of our asses right now.
Yeah, no. So that's why I'm very skeptical. That's why I'm holding back still, because I have some friends that go, yeah, no, this is a fucking problem. We have other people that say, yeah, it's there, but it's all right. It's fine. And so, like,
what's wrong with that? You say that argument like, but what's wrong with that argument? Of it's fine, it's there, but you can ignore it. I don't see what the
it's a fine argument. I mean, if that person's not bothered by it, that's their argument. The other person's saying they are bothered by it, and so I'm sitting here in the middle where most of the times I do have a problem with microtransactions. So I'm looking at that other guy more seriously than the guy that's saying he's not. That it's fine, it's whatever, because I'm like, what the fuck does whatever mean? So like I have like these 2 or 3 people going. One of them's saying, yeah, no, it's fine. The other 2 going, I can see where this is a problem. And what my whole big issue is if this is the beginning, where do we stop? Where do we draw the line? And I think it's safe as a consumer to do and practice consumer things. If you don't like something, you have the right to not just buy it, because that's how capitalism works. A lot of people go, that's how capitalism works, Joe, just don't buy it. But you also have the right, and you have it's a necessity to plead your case as to why you're not buying that thing or why you are buying that thing, because that is the voice of the market. So I'm saying, no, I'm not buying this. And it's, asterisk or comma or whatever punctuation you want. And then after, and this is my reason why. But that's the whole reason. So my whole thing is like, I'm not buying Shadow of War yet, because I need more information. Right. So like when I see reviewers out there talking about or giving Shadow of Mordor like 8s and 9s and fucking 10s.
Yeah.
I'm like, congratulations. But you are the same people that gave 2K18 8s, 9s, and 10s as well 2 weeks ago. And that shit's been openly panned by its entire audience. You're seeing it flawed and Metacritic and Steam. It's right now sitting at like a 2 as of this podcast. It's getting battered and beaten by its community because reviewers didn't take into account the microtransactions, because what
that's
they
a different
don't tell you.
That's a different. Go on. But I'd say the thing I would say about that though is that's a totally different argument to the argument I'm having. That's one specific. No, because we can't even get into that because we still got a show to do, and we've been going too long.
We're 34 minutes in. Let's check our pulses.
No. But the point is, I like the dialogue. I like the dialogue that we're having. Yeah. But the fact that on the NBA side of things, is again that's a specific mode. FIFA, that's a specific mode. That doesn't take away that NBA is still a 10 out of 10 basketball game because it has transaction in it. I'm not saying that it is. I've not played NBA 2K18, so I don't know. and I'm not into NBA like that. FIFA is a phenomenal football game. So what, it deserves to be dinged because it has a mode in it that people love and enjoy outside of spending money in it as well.
Maybe.
Yeah,
like maybe, like that is the thing. That's the question of, okay, if these microtransactions are going to be the past, present, and future, it's just like Destiny. It's just like Destiny when Destiny first came out. People were giving it 4s, 5s, and then you see 7, 8s, and 9s, right? Reviewers had to take a look at that game and go, we have to radically change the way we think about this game, because over time it got built upon, and now it is the staple of this generation. Whether you like the game or not, it is what it is. And so I think now with microtransactions, the conversation has to be either A, more transparent, or B, yes, affected. Because a lot of these games, like, they won't tell you in the review, but they'll tell you like in a podcast of theirs that, oh yeah, NBA, they gave me like $200 worth of credits. Oh yeah, Shadow Mordor, they gave me like $100 worth of credits.
That's not true though. After all the podcasts I listen to, and the people that I've, as someone who gets review codes myself and has got a review code for FIFA and has been given, you don't get, very rarely. And don't get me wrong, I'm not IGN, GameSpot, any of these big companies, but and from the people I've listened to on a regular occurrence, very rarely do you get given anything additional. You might get given the Super Deluxe edition, meaning you get the extra lone player, but FIFA doesn't do that. You don't get given extra coins.
Well, I don't want to speak for everyone in the industry, right? One person I know I can speak for entirely is like Greg Miller. He went out like in one of his kind of funny dailies. He talks about, I
watched that same thing. He said he didn't get sent anything.
When it comes to maybe we're taking different quotes. When it comes to certain games, and then like he quotes like Marvel Omega for a thing. Like he gets different packs or he gets different things for it. I forget who else.
He said in that he got given skins.
Right. But what are you trying to buy in this game? Anyway.
No. Yeah, but that's no. But you don't just try and buy skins. Have you played the game?
Yes. Yeah.
But you don't just buy skins, do you? That's one of the many things.
No, but you want to unlock different characters. You want to unlock skins. You want to make
between skins and characters, though.
Okay, sure. But like even if, like, I think even Jeff Grossman has even talked about it, and I think some people over at Kotaku talked about NBA, and they didn't have the biggest problem with it because they gave them the gold pack with here's a whole bunch of credits and shit. So like, not every time they're gonna do it. I'm just saying sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Be transparent with it. That's all I'm saying, is that this industry in itself needs transparency.
This episode of My Xbox and Me is brought to you by Mike Lynch. And he says, hey everyone, Mike Lynch here. I'd like to tell you about my YouTube channel. I play games, review movies, and go over life experiences. Basically, the show shebang. I'm no longer on hiatus, so check out my archive of cool videos. YouTube.com/Mike Lynch. No, I'm not the ukulele player. Thank you, Mike. Let's get into the news, Joe.
I think he should practice ukulele, though. Cut into that other guy's market,
Fair enough.
That one's free. That one's free. Next time I'm going to charge you.
First piece of news is you can no longer get a free adapter for your Kinect.
What?
So this one come via Twitter. Head of Xbox Games Marketing Aaron Greenberg said on Twitter, we provided free adapters for a good part of last year following the Xbox One S launch, but that program has ended. So for anyone who wants an adapter for their Xbox One X or Xbox One S, will now probably have to buy one. Just so you are.
How deep is that ditch that they dug, you think?
What do you mean?
When they're burying the Kinect, how deep?
It's one of the. It's Joe. What I'd love to make a video on it.
Yeah.
And we could do it on the My Xbox and Me channel now. Of how much they screwed people on that.
Like an in memoriam.
Like ridiculous. Yeah,
I'll make that video right now. You want me to?
That'd be an interesting one to talk about how much money just off of work, because you could work it out how much money they made off of the day one sales of a Connect, and how they absolutely fucked us. So me and probably many people listening to this who have a Connect right now, we got charged an extra $100.
Hey, it's awesome.
You're entitled to your opinion, sir. Yeah, that's just an interesting piece of news there. So that is that. Fortnite tweeted that since Fortnite tweeted Sunday update 525 peak concurrent users and 3.7 million daily active users. EU, NA, OCE. Thanks, everybody.
Wow.
So that's an interesting one, because we spoke about this a little bit, but we've got a ton of Fortnite news to go through here. But that's a 525k is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Peak concurrent users, obviously 307 daily active users. People are like, this is killing PUBG, yada yada yada. Cool. The one thing I will say is, remember, this is free to play, so literally they are making £0, 0p off of the battle royale mode of Fortnite. Like, they're not making any money on that. Now, the interesting conversation we can have now, which we had actually off camera, is that how many of those 3.7 daily users are moving over to play the normal node of Fortnite. And like we said, even if it's 1%, this has worked. Even if it's 1%, this has absolutely worked. But it's an interesting conversation. What'd you make of it?
This is so PUBG. I say first, wait till PUBG comes out. Then I think you might see their numbers become affected by it, because it's always nice to drink Pepsi, but Coke, you always ask the restaurant first if they have Coke, right?
100%. 100%.
For that, I say, yeah, it's great. This is great publicity and PR by Fortnite. As a PR major, round of applause by me, because you used so many things to your advantage, and you looked and seemed like the bigger person at all times, whether that was the crossplay thing, whether that was PUBG talking trash about you. Holy crap, did you get all the free advertising out of that? You didn't have to pay anything for it. So good on you, Fortnite team. That's the one thing I'm way more impressed by, is like, they didn't have to add anything or buy anything. Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a flip-flop on this one? Because I feel like it's an interesting one. Because like you just said, as soon as this comes to Xbox, PUBG,
right,
it's going to have a huge influx of players.
Yeah.
Do you think they've now had the taste of Battle Royale modes and been like, I want something a bit more real. I want something a bit more hardcore. I want something a bit more challenging.
Well, that's the thing. I think PUBG right now, they're not sweating too much.
14 million players. They've got the highest on Steam, above Dota. They're absolutely fine. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're totally fine right now. And they're like, a lot of people, like, they always think you have to win something. Like, it's always a race. There's always a war. Like, oh, Xbox is losing right now type of malarkey you hear. Companies are here to make money. Like, right now, I think maybe you may have it in the news. I don't know. But, like, PUBG is in talks with Microsoft about extending the exclusivity, and then they're also talking to Sony about bringing it over, playing both sides. So you see that it's all about what is the best for us money-wise.
Yeah.
You know? So people think about it as a race. It's not a race. No one really gives it two shits, you know? They're just like, oh, you're here making money? We're also here to make money. Let's talk, you know?
Yeah. You're 100% right. Next piece of Fortnite news, and we've got a couple more still. Battle Royale mode for Fortnite has banned thousands of players. Battle Royale mode has seen thousands of banned players for cheating, and Epic Games has no hesitation in banning more, with Nathan Money's company co-coordinator confirming that battling cheating in Fortnite is the highest, and I quote, sorry, the highest priority, end quote, across the company. As reported by VG 24/7, Epic acknowledged that the problem of the cheaters in both the Battle Royale and across its game in general is an ongoing problem that they are committed to tackling head on, saying that they are both targeting cheaters themselves and the cheaters providers. So that's good to know that Epic is not standing for it. They know they've hit a gold mine with this, I think. So they know that they need to keep everything moving and up to snuff there.
Yeah. Great job. Seriously. I have never even played this game, but I'm admiring as a person who wants to enter the field of PR. Man, they're killing it, man. Killing it.
And last one. So this is a different news story on numbers, which is Fortnite passes 7 million players. Obviously, adds Battle Royale features. Fortnite has now surpassed the 7 million player mark revealed on Twitter. 7 million in total, combined in the total new players from the Fortnite experience as well as the free-to-play battles. They've also added the DOs and supply drops that are going live on the PC and console versions now. So, a lot of Fortnite talk, which, again, Joe, I will keep talking about it for a second because they've done it right, dude. Because they've copied the mode, don't get me wrong. And you can have whatever opinion you want on that they've copied the mode. But would we be talking about 3 different Fortnite stories if they hadn't?
No.
There's no chance in hell we would.
No.
No chance in hell. So I just think they're doing a really good job of getting the name out there for this game. Fortnite, and that's all it is.
Are we gonna do a Fortnite
Let's play?
We
should do it.
I think we should.
Cool. Next piece of news. Ghost Recon Wildlands, free to play this weekend. From October 11th till October 16th, you can download Ghost Recon Wildlands on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. If you want to stay in the fight after the weekend ends, you can buy Ghost Recon for 50% off from October 12th to October 16th. Sales continues for Uplay, PC, PS4, and Xbox Live Gold members until October 23rd. Any progression you will make during the free-to-play weekend will be carried over when you buy the full game, so you won't lose a step in your fight to take down Santa Blanca. So, for anyone who's not played this game, not time to try it. I spoke very highly of this game when it first came out. I then come off it and it wasn't as good as I actually believe so, which is one that I've definitely jumped on the grenade for. If I convinced anyone to buy this game, I apologize because it didn't pan out the way I thought it was going to. Which is why we do things a little bit different now. Why we do, in topic of the show, early impressions, and we make it very clear that they are early impressions and not reviews. It's now we have Gary, part of the team, which is on the YouTube side of things, who will put a review out there. It may come a little bit later, maybe 2-3 weeks, but you will get a review and you will get our opinions on stuff of a finished magnitude now, which is nice.
Just know your place, Gary. I'm the people's champ. Until me and Crush find a date to battle it out, and then I lose.
That's never going to happen. Next piece of news. FIFA stays top while Forza Motorsport 7 fails to impress. Here's the UK top 10 for the week ending in October 7th. This is all UK numbers, like I just said, from the week. Number 1, FIFA 18. Number 2, Forza Motorsport 7, Microsoft. That is a new game, which this is why they're saying it failed. I took this story from, I'm not sure actually where, but for a new game to not finish number 1 is kind of a failure, which is a shame. But you got Forza Motorsport 7 at number 2, Forza Horizon at number 3, Destiny 2 at number 4, GTA 5 at number 5, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is not even out on Xbox yet, and then we start getting into games that don't even matter, apart from number 9, which is NBA 2K18. Forza Motorsport 7. Again, we can't really talk on too much, Joe, because we don't play.
No.
But
do they have a DeLorean in that car? In that, I'd buy that game if they have a DeLorean.
I don't think they do.
Legit, like Back to the Future 2. I know it's like everybody wants that one, but I like the little Mr. Fusion on it.
Fair enough.
But that's another game. 9s, 10s. fans are out are pissed off because of microtransactions.
Well, I think again, this is a case of I put up a video on the my Xbox and my YouTube channel that you can go watch, which is they I didn't put it in the news because I already did the video, but Forza Turn 10 put out a sorry letter to their fans to say
that's pretty rad.
That they're fixing it. So are the fans really that upset when they're fixing everything? They're fixing it all. They are fixing it all.
I was talking to a great man known as the Great Sean Capri because he loves these car games. He's a big motorhead, as they say, and I go like, is this what you wanted? Because I don't know. Like when they talk about microtransactions in this game, it is so like it's so out of place for me that I'm just like, I don't even know, bro. Like I don't even know how this affects anything, but everybody's upset about it. So that's why like I did make a video about it because I'm just like I have no idea what I would be talking about. But I was talking to him and he goes, "It's a start." So okay, it's good. It's a start. Fix your community, Microsoft, for the love of God, please get better at this.
They are one thing. Joe, what? That's another good idea. Joe, another video idea is talk about Microsoft first-party games at the moment. Gears of War had the same problem. Gears of War had this same problem. Forza's had a problem.
Yes. Fucking make a good game first before you introduce these stupid microtransactions. I think we could fucking both agree on this. I'm sorry I'm getting heated, but this is my love of Microsoft coming out. Stop it. The Gears of War microtransactions were overpriced, not worth it. No. And if you didn't want it, the grind was impossible.
100% agree with you there.
Warzone, that wasn't too bad, but still not a fan of. The whole like blitz mode of like what is it? The Halo RTS game. Why can't I think of it? Halo Wars 2, stupid. This implementing it, stupid. Make a good game first. I cannot actually think of a fucking game your competition does that has microtransactions. Get your fucking head in the game here.
Does Drive Club not have microtransactions?
I don't know. So
I don't know. I don't know enough about PlayStation. So like, you do a PlayStation podcast. So.
I mean, call it the PlayStation podcast. It's the place to be.
Cool. Next piece of news. Xbox One Insider's preview alpha uses a new 117 build. I don't know what any of this means, but it's meant to fix performances in the store and performances with the console. So if you're in the preview program, you will be getting that today.
Honestly, I didn't hear what you said because I was seeing red. So I'm good. Teaming myself down
now. Quick one, which is Assassin's Creed Origins will have its first ever difficulty settings in this year's game. There's there for people if they care about that. Nice. And the last important news.
Okay.
The last important news, then we have a little one at the end. But I found this one flipping hilarious, which is Destiny 1.
Yeah.
PlayStation exclusive content sneaks its way onto Xbox. Sony has always been... There's a whole story here. But the news here, which is the Taken King content, Echo Chamber Strike, the Sublime Armor, and a quest from... I don't know how to say this. Petra. Is that right? Petra Venger?
Sure.
The PvP map Sector 618, the Jade Rabbit exotic scat, and the Zen.
No, that Jade Rabbit. Oh my god, that exotic is pretty rad. Oh, sorry, continue.
And the Zen Metal exotic sniper has taken a whole 2 years later, but are all now on Xbox. So if you want to go back and play Destiny 1, you can now use those amazing items.
This is I actually talked about this and I want to know what you feel on another podcast, and I actually brought the topic up. Anybody called me a PlayStation fanboy. This is the part for me. Do you find PlayStation or Microsoft, whoever's doing it, the exclusive marketing deals to be more harmful than like good? Because like Destiny 2, PlayStation only outsold, I think it was like 58 to like 40 or like 58 to 42 or whatever percent. 58% of all, I don't know math. 58% of all Destiny copies were PlayStation. I'm like, I'm expecting something bigger than that. Get all that marketing deal. And then holding off like pieces of content like armor, guns, maps. What do you think?
So this is two arguments, two different conversations, which is no, I don't think marketing deals are stupid. I think they're smart because I'm around a casual audience a lot, which they don't understand that FIFA's coming to Xbox as well.
Yeah.
They don't understand that Destiny is not an PlayStation exclusive. They don't get that. So they do ask me. I have a lot of people that ask me questions. And so no, I don't think it's stupid. The one thing I do hate is the content side of things.
Right.
Which I didn't like it with FIFA. FIFA used to do it with Legends. Which was Xbox had the Legends. Now everyone has the Legends. But especially with this Destiny stuff is a joke.
Yeah.
Destiny 1 has come and gone, and Destiny 2 is now out. And now you want to give up those rights? That's disgusting. And Joe, what? This is on Activision for me. They did not fight. They didn't fight the corner for the Xbox on this one. Because there's no way PlayStation was like, we need exclusive content. And they're like, yeah, we totally agree. You got the marketing. We'll give you 30 days.
Well, it's all about the money. Money talks. Yeah.
Joe, but even if I want to go, all right, cool. They said no to 30 days, 60 days. Nope. This is 2 years.
And here's the deal. When people, like, again, plead poverty, server costs. Motherfucker, this game is $1 billion game. They're not paying for the advertising of this game. PlayStation is. So it's like, yeah, no, PlayStation's like, listen, we got you on X amount of advertisement, right? And every time we show an advertisement, like, again, we'll pay a good portion of it or we'll pay for it all. In return, you give us this, and that, you're set. And to me, it's harmful for the industry. I think you see that across the board. It sucks for the people who maybe just prefer the feel of an Xbox controller in their hands than a PlayStation one. I know my brother does. Every time he holds the DualShock, he's like, this is wrong. I feel like I'm cheating. So it's like, I understand where some people just prefer another system and that content gets cut off for them. And for like, after the game is essentially, let's be honest with each other, donezo, dead.
Yeah, dead.
Like, who's going back for this?
No.
Five Guys?
I'd be very... If you are going back to try this new stuff out, email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com. Last piece of news, 2K proudly announced that WWE 2K18 won't have microtransactions.
Oh, it won't?
No. So we actually reported on this last week saying that it could do because it has the loot box system. They actually broke it down and said there are no paid microtransactions in WWE 2K18. So the quote we got here, along with upgrading your My Player comes deeper customizations this year. You'll be able to unlock hundreds of moves, superstar parts to customize your player as you see fit. Unlocks can be earned through loot cases, which is where we all got scared, and progression in both My Career and Road to Glory. Most superstar parts and moves are locked from the start. Once an item is unlocked, it can be purchased with VC, which is the virtual currency.
Right.
There are 3 levels to loot boxes: brown, silver, and gold. You have a higher chance of unlocking more rare items in silver and gold cases. You can purchase loot cases in My Player / My Career and Road to Glory. You will also earn loot cases through progress in My Career and Road to Glory. So this is strictly yes, it's a loot crate and you're going to get randomized stuff, but no, you cannot buy it with real money. This is, you are playing the game and you are getting the loot box, just like in Shadow of War that you can do. But there is an option in Shadow of War. There is no option here.
It's weird. Maybe that explains the KFC man being a playable character.
Doesn't explain it, but sure. Let's get into Fix the Sack. We have a couple of fan emails in, so let's get into those. And it says, hey, Fixer, the man, the legend. Quick question. What makes Joseph think he is the people's champ? I think that the crowd should go to a certain... I think the crown should go to a certain Mr. Moody. I see him do a lot for the people, more than the people's chump, Joseph. in brackets, just banter from your boy, Tony Williams. Tony, I'll be honest with you, I'm 100% with you.
I'm 100%
The people's champ,
with you.
the people's champ should be somebody
Yeah.
that is for the people.
For
Someone
the people,
that produces content for the people.
for
Someone
the
that
people.
is there for the people. Someone that
For
is
the
posting
people.
Facebook on the Facebook group, posting questions, posting links, doing all the hard grafty stuff that keeps this community great. That's why I'm not that person. I'm not that person. I'm not the people's champ. I'm MC Fixer. I'm a legend, like you said. The legend is a bit above the people's champ. Mr. Moody is out there on the graft every goddamn day.
True.
Every goddamn day, and keeps this community together. Joseph, on the other hand, just snuck in because we had no other host.
Yeah, maybe that's the case.
So what's your response to your main man Tony here?
Okay, the people's chump. I agreed with everything he said. Yeah, I have to say that it deserves to be someone for the people, by the people, works for the community, and you know what? That all just spells out Joseph, and Joseph. And all right, you mood is the people's champ like gonna defend his title? Of course he is, right? From any known attacker, right? But when Tony goes, it should be Mr. Moody. Moody needs to come to me. Someone else can't just do it for him.
I'm just saying. I'm with Tony on this one. Next.
Well, you know what? Tony's a chump because he's not the people's champ. Sorry,
You're
Tony.
a chump. You're a chump. Next email. And this is our last one. It says, hello, you sexy men. Short and simple. Should Microsoft try and buy the complete console exclusive rights of PUBG? Everyone knows Microsoft haven't had a good time with their exclusives. Simply, they've had their butts handed to them, in my opinion, by Sony's exclusive. Keep being sexy, your lover, Mr. Moody. This is one of those questions that you go to yourself, well, duh. But I don't think Bluehole or Mr. PlayerUnknown himself would be stupid enough to do this. There's no amount of money that Microsoft could offer them. I don't think I shouldn't say that. Let me say it like this. I don't think Microsoft would be willing to offer them enough money to make this game an exclusive when they know that there are 60 plus PS4s out there and they have the biggest game of the year.
Right.
Now, the question is, should Microsoft? Again, it's a hard question because it's still the same thing though, isn't it, really? Which is, it's not actually an exclusive because it's still on PC. And I take that argument, when I say that argument, I take that argument away from Steam. If a game is on Steam, then that's what I classify as PC. Sorry, the Windows PC stuff is totally different to me than Steam itself. Because for me, it's a case of if I'm still earning Xbox achievements on PC and I'm still playing in the Xbox ecosystem, then it's still an Xbox to me.
Right.
To me personally, I get that I'm playing on a PC and I can understand why people would call bullshit on that. I really can. But I classify the Windows Store and Steam two different things. The Windows Store is the Xbox store for games, Xbox games, and the Steam Store is a PC store.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying by that? So,
I understand what you're saying.
So for me, it's the case of it's the same argument everyone's going to have. It's like Xbox have got no exclusives, so they're going to sign this as an exclusive. What do they get from that?
Right.
Like honestly, it's still going to be on Steam. They're not making no money from Steam. It's still going to It's going to be on Windows Store. No one's going to buy it on Windows Store, and then they're going to sell it on Xbox, where they're going to sell a lot of units. But they're still going to sell a lot of units, no matter if they have this as an exclusive or not. So. Should Microsoft do it? Probably, just so it doesn't go to PlayStation. Will Microsoft do it? No, because there's not enough money for them to sign it, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it comes down to there's not enough money that you can offer Bluehole not to go to PS4 at this moment. And it's not, as much as this is a successful game, we don't know how long term it is. So like when Microsoft bought Minecraft, great example, right? They paid a ton of money, but Minecraft
$1 billion.
Yeah, Minecraft had already been out for years at that point. So they understood that this is a property that's not going away, that could only be built upon. Let's take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So with PUBG, yeah, you could offer them a lot of money, but that's a lot of money. You have to go to, the CEO of Microsoft to go, hey, can we write this blank check? And I just don't feel like that is going to happen. I think even for Bluehole, I think it's also about their independence. So
I think, again, with so many people going to be aping this idea as well.
Yeah,
this has only got so much life in it. This Battle Royale game, Battle Royale, I think is going to be around to stay. I think that Activision and all the other UB, they will all be making a type of game like this because they've seen the lightning in the bottle. They've seen that it can work. So I do see a lot of companies doing this or adding modes like this to their games. I do. But once the ship has sailed on PUBG, which it will, people will forget about this game. Does Microsoft want to be stuck going, but we bought this and it didn't sell enough? I don't think they can afford to do it.
No.
Look at Tomb Raider, for instance. That's a timed exclusive, and it sold poorly. Was the game of the year that year for me, but sold poorly. Look at Sunset, another exclusive, sold poorly. That literally didn't come anywhere else. That is you can get that. Rise of Rome, I'm not sure what that sold.
Probably
you know what I mean? Gears of War, even Gears, I don't think performed amazingly this year.
That's the thing is, instead of buying existing IP, Microsoft needs to. I'm going to write this one down.
Make new IP.
Make new IP. And yes, some IP is not going to do well. Sunset Overdrive, cough, cough, Quantum Break, but that doesn't mean you stop.
They weren't bad games. Both are good games as well. That's the
end. Both of them were good games. Both were like critically panned. Look at Cuphead. Cuphead's a great example of Microsoft at their best. Yes. It's also on Steam, but you can't get it on your competitor.
No.
When you're a console, you're thinking about your competitor. Steam is not that. It's PC. No. It's in Sony ecosystem. You can't get that on Sony's console. That's a win on your book. That and for the whole week, people I saw one guy going, I think I might buy an Xbox just for Cuphead. That's what you want.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about let's stop going. How much money can Microsoft throw at this popular game, this flavor of the month or year, and more so of what can Microsoft do instead of shuttering studios like Lionhead? Maybe they're off to do something else. Maybe for 343, maybe they're not just a Halo factory because we see it's not working. Maybe they can do something else. Same with the Coalition. Maybe they're not just Gears of War. But
they are just Gears of War. They were created just to make Gears of War. That's the crazy thing.
And that's the thing. They're created just to make Gears of War. But it's not working. That system of implementation is just not working for Microsoft. When you look at your competitors and what they're doing and the freedom that they're giving their developers to a certain extent to go out and make, look at, for example, I'm not going to bring up Sony. I'm going to bring up how Laboratory, right? Guys that make Super Smash, they also go out and make Kirby. They have these totally different franchises they work on, right? Naughty Dog has Uncharted. They have The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Killzone. Let these companies have the freedom to go out and make something a little different. Because then you have the name recognition of, hey, these are the guys that are from Halo, and they're doing something totally different. This is the guys that made Gears of War. They're actually going out and they're making something totally different. It's awesome for your advertising. It's awesome for your PR. It's awesome if you have something that really can resonate. You have the studios, you have the talent. Let them go off and do something special.
Joe?
Yeah.
That has been this week's My Xbox and Me.
Yeah. And that's why I'm the people's champ.
Thank you all for listening. Be sure to, if you are watching on YouTube, like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on the podcast version, be sure to hit the subscribe button on iTunes, give us a share, rate us, and definitely rate us on iTunes and other avenues. Joe, let's plug, and get ourselves out of here. What have you got to plug this week, friend?
I got a little thing called Bad Bit Games on YouTube. check it out. It's a whole lot of fun.
Mm.
And on October 12th, we're going to announce big things. It's going to be the best things. And at the same time, we have the PlayStation podcast, a podcast made by the players for the players. You can check that out. I might be actually doing a solo podcast today. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. So with that's what I got to share.
So most importantly is subscribe to the YouTube channel. My Xbox and me, we now have a YouTube channel. I need all of you that are listening. We need to hit that 100 subscriber number real quick so we can get our custom URL thing. We are currently at 65. So I challenge yous to come to my Xbox and me's channel. You can find it everywhere. If you don't find it at the top where you put in my Xbox and me, just scroll down to the channel part and you'll see it.
What if subscriber number 100 gets like a month free of Game Pass?
I tell you what, if we hit 100 subscribers by next week's episode, I will give out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll give out 10 extra.
Whoa.
Game passes. 10.
Look at that. Look at how many. There's one. Just wait. Is that really 10? Wait, hold it up again.
No.
No. Okay. That wasn't 10. But
I've got 10. I've got more. Look.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. He's got at least 20. He's not being very conservative with this number. He's just at this point just giving them away. So exactly. You got hit 100 though. I think I just dropped another thing.
Until then, I'll love you, leave you, and I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye-bye.